About 20 miles west of Madison, in the driftless area of southwest Wisconsin, is the Cave of the Mounds. The driftless area is otherwise known for its spectacular views and rolling hills, and the Cave of the Mounds is known to be one of the best day trips in the Midwest.
Get ready to take a trip to one of southwest Wisconsin's most beautiful and awe-inspiring natural wonders, the Cave of the Mounds. The cave is over 1 million years old and was discovered accidentally on August 4th, 1939 by some quarry workers. During the first 8 weeks of operation, over 59,000 people came to visit the cave. Since then, for over 70 years, people have come to visit the cave, and it's often referred to as the jewel box of major American caves because of its stunning array of gemstones. In 1988, the Cave of the Mounds was designated as a National Natural Landmark, and you're about to see why. Located in the heart of South Wisconsin, amongst the rolling hills, the Cave of the Mounds offers a feast for the visual senses. Connected to Wisconsin's extensive bike trail system, Cave of the Mounds is located just off the Military Ridge Bike Trail. The cave is a breathtaking wonder of Wisconsin and is a rare sight to see. As part of the tour package, there is an informative tour of the beautiful cave, which lasts about an hour long. There is a charge for the tour, so be sure to check prices when planning your trip. There are 2 trails that are about a mile long and old-fashioned mining sleuths, which is similar to gold panning, amongst other activities. We'll show you some highlights of what we saw inside the cave, including the rooms of stalactites and stalagmites, huge caverns that look to go on forever. This cave is without a doubt a great way to spend a couple of hours on your next day trip. Today, we've joined our friend and general manager of the Cave of the Mounds, Joe. I'd say Joe definitely knows 1 or 2 things about the cave.
Hi Joe, how are you doing?
Veronica, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you. So what do we have here? If you could just lay this out for us.
Well, Cave of the Mounds is our local Madison geologic wonder, and the cave is more than 2 million years old, and it's located in this limestone that's more than 400 million years old. So we've got a long geologic history here. We have a geologic timeline where we've taken geologic history and put it in a linear form so people can go through and walk and see just how long geologic history is and how humans in the cave are kind of just that last little bit, the last couple million years ago as far as the cave formation goes.
You also have like lots of gardens, butterfly gardens.
Above ground, there's a number of activities as well. There are nature trails, butterfly gardens, prairie gardens, rock gardens of every sort, and we also have a lot of fun activities. And we're standing right here in the center of our park. Behind me we have our visitor center where we have a wonderful rock and fossil displays and where we hold a lot of our school programs. Up here we've got our barn that was built in 1883, and we hold a lot of our scout programs and school programs and birthday party events up there.
And it looks like you have some panning for gold over here going on.
Exactly. So we've got a lot of fun above ground activities also. We've got our gemstone mine where kids can get a bag of mining rock and find their very own treasure, either gemstones, fossils, minerals, all kinds of wonderful rocks from all over the world.
So where are we going to now, Joe?
This is our Quarry's Edge fossil dig. So this is a great activity for the kids to find their very own treasure. And it's interesting because this is the old quarry wall, which is significant in the history of Cave of the Mounds, because Cave of the Mounds was found by accident in the bottom of this limestone quarry. So a few years ago, we scraped off 70-some years of accumulation of brush and dirt and revealed that old limestone rock that is kind of the discovery story of Cave of the Mounds. It was on August 4th, 1939 that quarry workers accidentally discovered the cave when they were drilling holes and making an explosion in order to make limestone gravel for the roads in the area. So they had no idea that a cave was directly underneath them, and revealed this entrance by accident when this quarry blast went off in 1939. So it's neat for us to see the remnant of that old quarry wall right there behind us.
Right, and is there more limestone?
It is. This entire wall and right along behind the cave building is all that limestone. So the building that we saw from a distance is built right over that top of that entrance that they revealed to the cave. Up until 1939, no one knew that Cave of the Mounds was there. No one had ever been inside. No animals, no bats, no raccoons hibernating, because it was completely sealed to the outside world. And that's why we're so fortunate we have a cave that's really in very pristine shape today, because it wasn't known by the early settlers.
And now it's time to head inside the cave. I can't wait to see what Joe is so excited about.
So we just entered the cave right now, and where are we standing?
We are standing right here underneath that discovery site. So it was on August 4th, 1939, that quarry blast that revealed an entrance to this cave by accident. And you can imagine how astonished those quarry workers would have been when they lowered themselves down and saw this scene that we've got behind us here. To see this vast cavern, you know, several hundred feet long, 30 feet high, 30 feet wide, this massive hole in the ground that they were working directly over in this limestone quarry for all these years. And here this was below their feet and no one knew it.
It's beautiful.
Well, what do you think? Are you up for heading further down into the cave, Veronica?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
So what kind of formations do we have going on here, Joe?
This is called flowstone. When the calcite forms on a slope, like we see in front of us here, it drips down and deposits that calcite, and the formation that results kind of looks like a big glacier coming towards us, doesn't it?
It does.
It's called flowstone. And then if you look on the big sloping rock up towards the top there,
what is that?
That's called cave bacon, or called a ribbon stalactite.
Okay.
So cave explorers are always hungry. They name a lot of formations after kinds of food.
You know, talking about food, this almost looks like a body of caramel flowing down. I want to almost lick it. I'm sure it doesn't taste good.
It's got a lot of sand mixed up. It would be kind of rough, although it looks smooth and icy, but it is, you know, the cave is 50 degrees every day of the year. So, you know, you look at it and it looks like it's a frozen water sitting there, but it is not frozen, of course, because it's that same temperature every day of the year. So that natural air conditioning that we're enjoying today is natural heating in the wintertime. It feels really balmy in here if we're in the winter with that constant 50 degrees.
And I just saw some drips down.
Some water.
Where's that coming from?
Even as dry as it is right now, we still always have water flowing through the ground. So there's little cracks in this limestone rock, and water is, you know, gradually flowing through there, dissolving little bits of that limestone and bringing it into the cave. And those drips, when it lands on your head, they call that a cave kiss.
Oh, and so how deep are we?
Right here we are 40 feet below the surface is where we are right now. And the deepest part of the cave is that we visit is 70 feet below the surface. So on the tour there's about 2/3 of a mile of trail. It's all paved trail with lighting and hand railing throughout. So it's something that just about anyone can do.
So are you still looking for more areas, undiscovered areas within the cave?
We know that the water table is about 250 to 300 feet below our feet. And that water gets down there somehow, either through lots of small little holes or one big hole. So if it's a big hole, we call that a cave, and we're hoping that there's some more of that. We do some exploration in the wintertime when we don't have as many visitors. We're open all year round, but you know, there's times when it's slower, and we'll do some of that exploration. And we have found more passageway heading down to those lower levels, and we're hoping that we find another big room like this. But so far it's small muddy crawlways and not.
Oh, so you have found some?
We have done some, not major passageways, but the places where we could see that there's further, you know, something else in the distance, but we have to dig out the dirt so that we can actually get through there, because right now it's only about 6 inches
Tiny.
of the passage, and that's I'm bigger than that. Let's go down this way. So this is called our painted waterfall. So you can see the water dripping in on top, and again, that's what brings the minerals into the cave and makes these formations. And when it comes in, it brings a little bit of iron oxide, a little bit of manganese, and that gives the formations these wonderful other colors that you see. And then we've got a reflecting pool down below, which is pure water that's dripped into the cave year after year after year. So it just accumulates in here. And
does it flow anywhere?
50 degrees? No, it does not. It does not. This part of the cave is called the Dream River, and you can see the reflection of all of those formations in the pools that go back several hundred feet until it gets to a really tiny little passageway at the end. So the cave kind of comes to an end, and we know that there's more cave beyond that, and it's completely separate from this cave, but we haven't tunneled into that yet because it's so delicate. The formations back there are soda straw stalactites, and they are extremely fragile, so we really don't go back there except for, you know, changing light bulbs very rarely. And but you can see from here just that wonderful reflection of the formations in those water pools down below.
At a year-round temperature of 50 degrees, the cave is a great way to beat the Wisconsin heat. Now I know why Joe likes to spend all of his time down here. Joe and his tour guide Annika personally escort us through the cave. There's nothing dangerous down here, but we're making sure to watch our step.
Yes, these are soda straws, and they're the very beginnings of stalactites. They'll all start out like this, and they have the name soda straw because not only are they long and skinny as you can see, but they're actually hollow in the middle. The calcite that all formations are made out of wants to deposit on the outside of the droplet. So you can see, if you look at any kind of end on, they actually have a little hole.
One of the most prevalent minerals you'll see is calcite, which is white in color. Calcite is limestone, which has been dissolved and redeposited.
And so I see there's water here. Where is this water coming from? All the water in the cave comes from the surface. We don't have a constant stream flowing through the cave. It all comes from rainwater. So when it's drier on the surface, like it was in the summer and a little bit of drought, it does get drier in the cave. And same thing when it's very wet out, it's a lot wetter down here.
The different colors in the formations are caused by various minerals which are present in the cave. You might be familiar with the reddish-brown colors if you're one for not washing your car. Yep, that's iron oxide, better known as rust. Various shades of black, purple, blue, and gray are present because of the manganese oxide. The cave is at various depths. We make sure to pay close attention to the red light. It winds 70 feet below the surface. At the north end, you'll be at around 57 feet. At the south end, it's 42 feet below the surface, so be sure to wear your most comfortable walking shoes.
We can have a tour every 15 minutes at our busiest, and we can take 18 people on an individual tour, but we can come down with 2 groups and actually split up on the platform. That way we can get a few more people down. So if you come at any particular time of day, there's usually a tour leaving within 15 or 20 minutes of when you get here. We can get you on that one.
And what is your busiest time?
Our busiest times of year are definitely holidays, so around the 4th of July, around Labor Day, around Memorial Day, and our own particular holiday, which is the anniversary of the cave, or Discovery Days on August 4th. Those are always busy times for us.
What happens during the Discovery Days?
Well, we have kind of a special tour. We would actually take this first walk that you see here, we would take that with flashlights and kind of simulate how you would actually walk through the cave if you were one of the first explorers down here. So it's really exciting. Everyone gets a flashlight and you can explore the cave as they did in the first place.
Once you're done with the cave tour, there's also plenty to do above ground.
I'm I'm here in the rain and butterfly gardens, and although it's been unseasonably dry this year, if you come in early spring or late fall, you'll find an incredible assortment of blooms among the countless rock formations that are found naturally in the area. So if you are into nature, then this is the place for you.
Decided to test my luck at the old-fashioned mining sleuths.
We're going to get a quick demonstration from Joe here on how to mine for gems.
You can become a mining professional here.
Okay.
Have you give this a try.
All right.
We're going to put the sand inside here. You turn the tray sideways, lower it down into the water.
Okay.
And wash away your sand and see what sort of treasure you're left with.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
Look at this!
Oh, is this gold?
This is called fool's gold.
Fool's gold.
Fool's gold.
Okay.
You've got a piece of amethyst crystal.
Ah.
That looks like a diamond, doesn't it? That's
okay.
a diamond.
Yeah, exactly. That
would be good.
I could use some more bling.
There you are.
Beautiful. How about this blue one right here?
That is called blue apatite.
Okay. Looks like we got a couple of blue apatites here.
We have a ruby. Mm-hmm. There's some garnet in here.
Okay.
There's a piece of emerald. This is Wausau red granite. That's our state rock.
Oh, that's beautiful. What's this one right here?
This is called raspberry quartz. That's raspberry quartz, another kind of quartz. Some neat treasures.
Nice. Struck it rich here.
You get to take them home and start your very own collection.
Beautiful. How fun. This is a great activity for kids.
It is, and they actually wind up learning something too. Now we get to
take this home.
You can make some jewelry.
Woohoo!
There you are. There's no real gold.
Only fool's gold.
Fool's gold.
When you get done with the cave tours, be sure to take some time and check out the trails. They are beautiful.
There are 2 trails that loop around the surrounding grounds. They each take about 30 minutes at a light walk. The first trail is the Karst View Trail. And the Prairie Demonstration Gardens. The second trail is the Oak Valley Loop. This trail goes down into the woodland and savanna. Some of the oaks are estimated to be over 200 years old. Different species of bur oak, white oak, red, and black oak are all featured in this trail. There are definitely signs of wildlife out here. Nothing more dangerous than a sinkhole, though.
The area is spotted with sinkholes, and this particular sinkhole is called the North End Sink. Basically, a sinkhole is evidence that a cave, which is close to the surface, is right below.
After you visit outside the cave, stop by the gift shop for a souvenir.
We try to make this as educational as we can. You know, in the cave world, we say it's a mystery of nature. The caves are always found directly below gift shops. So we do exit out into this gift shop, but we try to make the items in here, of course, they're beautiful things from Mother Nature, but at the same time, there's really fun stories behind either.
It looks like you have some bits and pieces of information with all the rocks here.
So we have little informational cards that go along with a variety of minerals and gems and fossils that we have in here, so people can not only take home a remembrance of their trip, but they can also take home a little information so they can learn something about it.
So tell me something fun.
Something fun. Something fun. These little nodules, these are called septarian nodules, and they call it that because they always form where they have these points, and they have, sept is 7, so they always have 7 points. So these right here are kind of neat in that they when they form, for whatever reason, there's that 7-pointed structure to it. So then when they cut them and polish them, that's what you see. And it's another one of these where if you were to find it lying on the ground, it wouldn't look like much.
Yep.
But inside, they really look quite wonderful.
And what about these right here?
These
Always
are
wondered what
salt
those were.
lamps. These are from Pakistan and from the Himalaya. This is natural salt deposits mixed up with a little bit of iron oxide that gives it that orangish color. And that, you know, and then they put a hole in it or put a light bulb in there and make lamps out of them.
Beautiful.
So here's some more items. These are some of the fish fossils. These actually come from Wyoming. And you can see they prep them, and it's amazing to think this 35 million years ago, this guy was swimming in a shallow sea over there in Wyoming, what's today Wyoming. And then layer upon layer of the rock has compressed it and preserved it for all of these 35 million years. So
You can actually see the scales for this one.
you can, isn't it something? Look at the tiny little bones. And we've got, again, hundreds of different kinds of fossils and specimens that we've got available here for people to either take home with them or just read about and learn about while they're here.
I even got a lesson on how to crack open a geode.
So why don't you pick one out, Veronica?
Okay.
See you there. Pick out a nice round one here.
How about this one?
That looks great.
Good.
That looks fantastic.
All right.
Now, it looks like an ordinary rock on the outside. You wouldn't think that there's anything terribly special about this if you just found this out in the driveway or something. But you'll see that inside there are some crystal formations. So we'll use my handy geode cracker here to see what's inside this one. Oh yes, I think we will be. So, now,
yeah.
of course, no one has ever seen inside this rock. Let's hope there's something in there.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that.
Never before revealed.
Gorgeous. Looks
Aren't
like
those
diamonds.
beautiful? It does. Those are quartz crystals. Aren't those neat? Look at that. Pretty amazing, huh?
Beautiful.
Now, would you have guessed looking at the outside?
Never.
Would you guess that there's something in there like that?
Not in a million years.
Very nice.
Some visitors we spoke to were just as excited to be at the Cave of the Mounds as we were.
We just got here a few minutes ago, and I think we'll probably spend most of the day here. Nice visitor center here, and there's a few other attractions in the area. I'm not sure what's going to be inside of it. I'm not that familiar with it, but it's always been a popular attraction in southern Wisconsin, so now is my time to come see what it actually looks like and see what's inside. It's nice and cool in there, and it's a hot day, so who can beat that?
We came to the Cave of the Mounds to walk the grounds and do a tour of the cave and pick up some rocks at the gift shop and do the little sifting through rocks in the water. We found a lot of neat crystals. We found some old shark's teeth. We found some petrified dinosaur bones, so a little bit of everything. We like to see the pools of water underneath where you can have the reflection of the cave above, and even with the drought there was still a little bit of water down there. And got to see nothing when they turn the lights out, which is always kind of interesting. And we got to see some of the fossils. Well, there's a lot for the kids to explore. They've got the sinkholes they've been looking for. You've got the gift shops, you've got the farm, so a little bit of everything. I think it's a great day trip because you can really spend a whole afternoon seeing the whole setup they have here.
Visiting the Cave of the Mounds left me with rich memories. I hope you've enjoyed our look at one of the many natural splendors that Wisconsin has to offer. Until next time, I'm Veronica Harper. Keep on exploring.